Okay. Okay. Wolfpack Nation, we have a new visitor joining us today. Sophie Hansson from Sweden is joining us, and you're talking with two panel members, Coach Paulina and myself. And we're here to congratulate your 2020 200 breaststroke ACC title is what is now into the Final Four. And pretty iconic swim, pretty cool swim. It was the best time. And obviously it was a lot of emotion. I think it was an emotional swim, but it's pretty cool how it moved forward. But the funny thing is, and I have to ask you this, is you in the panel on the bracket, the bracket, you were going against yourself. So who did you vote for?
Who I vote for? I actually voted for the 200 breaststroke because that is the one I would say was the most fun to swim and the one I'm most proud of.
That's cool. And so we, as a panel, we talked about it. So we have these Zoom calls. Obviously, we're doing staff meetings. And then I asked an administrator who's on the panel. We have a professor who's on the panel. And we have an alum. And the alum, his vote counts the most. It counts 3. And he voted for the 2020 200 breaststroke as well. And he said the big thing was, because I guess it's a longer race, the composure that you had to maintain during that race, because at some point you were in third or you were in fourth and third or something, and then you kind of kept creeping back. He says it's just the anxiety it gives viewers to watch it. It just gives them more time to kind of be on the edge of their seat.
Oh, I had zero composure during that race. I'm sure you had more than I did. So
yeah, we'll let
it's fun watching the video and seeing you guys standing at the side and just cheering on me.
Well, it's funny how a race, when you go back and you watch it from behind, the moments that you're probably as an athlete able to say, okay, this is when I tried to go, I tried to push it more, and then you're able to watch us on the side jumping up and down. Take us through that race. Maybe how you felt, when you're racing a great heat of young ladies. Obviously there was about 4 or 5 of y'all that were ahead further. Take us through that race, how you felt emotionally through it.
I would actually say that I got a blackout from that race. I know certain things from it, but I can't remember the entire race. But what I do remember is before the race, when I was talking to you, Braden, and I was kind of nervous, and you were making all these jokes to me, and I was like, I can't handle the jokes right now. And I remember you made me a little bit upset, and after the race you were like, maybe I should make you more upset more often. And I kind of, that was a little I really went into the race fully race mode, and I was so focused on what I was gonna do that I kind of forgot after what I actually did. But I remember turning at the 100 mark, and I felt strong, and I felt like I didn't rush the first 100, which I have a tendency of doing pretty often. And I really just kept my pace and the length of my stroke, since I'm so tall that I usually just want to keep up with the shorter people around me. But I actually really did my stroke rate and did the race as I wanted. And turning at the last 50, I had the extra power. And you guys know that when I really decide something, I really go 100% for it. And that's what I did.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of those, you think back to some of those workouts that we do, and you're having to go very hard, repeat 100s in practice, but you're only allowed to take 3 or 4 strokes a lap, and that's it. And we tell you a lot, you can't take 5. You got to go as hard as you can, but you can only take 4. It's good to kind of see some of that efficiency in your stroke really kind of take off. Yeah, and you're, being tall, you're really able to maximize it a good bit. I do remember joking around with you because Pauline and I were like, oh my gosh, she looks really nervous. Maybe we should try and get her to calm down. And I did the opposite. Oops.
Oh yeah, you did.
that was totally planned. That was coaching tactics.
Of course.
So obviously you're in the Final Four, and on the women's bracket, there's not a whole lot of relays that move forward. A lot of the voters went with a lot of individual swims. On the men's side, there's a lot of relays. Obviously, you have a few teammates. Actually, there's a few clumps. Like there's the 4 girls from the 400 IM when they went 1, 2, 3, 4, which has gotten a lot of percentages of votes. The miles are still in there where they went 1, 2, 3, 4. But the voting has been unique on the women's side to where some of the relays that I thought were going to go far didn't go far. And now you had 2 of them in it. Isn't that? I mean, you were the only one.
Sorry, what did you say last?
You were the only female that had 2 individual swims remaining, and now obviously once you had to knock yourself out. So, what are you doing now? Right, you're back in Sweden. You were able to go back home. Now you're getting some good quality time at home with your sister and your parents and close family members that you have by. Is your brother there too?
Yeah, my brother's here.
So your brother's there too. Tell us, what are you up to right now, and how's it feel to be back home, and how is it going?
It feels really good to be back home. Haven't spent this much time with my family in 2 years since I left for college. So that for sure has been fun, and especially my sister, who has been at college for 4 years. I have not spent this much time with her in a very long time. Even though Sweden is not on lockdown, we still are very encouraged to stay at home and not have contact with other people. So I would say that I am allowed to go to practice, which I'm very lucky to do, and I'm doing that. But except that, I'm basically going straight home, and I'm actually studying because I'm taking some summer classes. So I have a pretty boring schedule right now, but
and from what you told
hopefully
me,
better soon.
What you told me, one of your classes is really, really tough.
Yeah, there's a lot of studying. The MIE 305 is hard.
Yeah. Okay.
Good thing you have a lot of time.
Yes, of course. Yeah, that's really nice. But we actually started the swimming long course outside tomorrow, which I'm really excited about.
Well, good. And when we talk with you and we talk with the team, I find myself kind of using you as an example a lot when we're trying to motivate, because we still have a lot of kids, a lot of our student athletes that can't train. And I think sometimes for you, that puts pressure on you, because it's almost like, hey, I'm able to do this. I want to make I got to make the most of it, because some people can't do it. And from when we talked, when we FaceTimed the other day, one thing that you had said were, when you're going through these workouts and there's not a whole lot of people there, you're finding yourself almost like you could close your eyes and envision every stroke, and you're able to like kind of slow down a little bit, because you're not in a college setting. There's not all this intensity. Maybe the music's not as loud, or Paulina's not like yelling at you on the side. And almost like, are you finding yourself able to kind of slow things down and really think about your stroke, and almost like it's, you're just turning other things off and just that on?
Yeah, no, for sure. When the first 2 weeks when I got home, I was like following pretty much the same schedule as in America. And after that, I switched it up a little bit and like tried some new stuff. And I've done, like you said, like more like technique stuff. And like really, I have the time to focus on like the details that I normally don't. And I think that I can really benefit like on improving those right now in the future. So like pull-outs, and especially pull-outs, I'm working a lot on those, because I know that's my weakness.
Which people are probably like, what? She's like 6'2". How is that a weakness?
Yeah. Don't ask me.
Got a lot better.
It has.
All right, I'm going to ask you some fun questions now. All right.
Okay.
What is the one American food you miss the most since you haven't been here for a while?
Oh, wow. I don't know if this is American food, but I would say Chipotle.
Yeah! Woohoo! All right, I'm gonna ask you another one, then I'm gonna let Paulina ask 2. All right.
Okay.
So we'll ask you 4 fun ones. All right. What is the one place on campus that you miss going to when you're in school? That you're ready, that you look forward to? I look forward to going back to this place on campus.
Howling Cow. No, I'm joking.
Something unique, like not the pool. Don't say the pool.
I want to go back to Case dinner, where all of the athletes sit together, eat dinner every night, where we are with all other athletes, and it's a really fun time.
That's good. They'll enjoy hearing that.
All right.
Holly.
Let's see. What practice of the week do you miss most with the team?
Monday night.
Oh, no, Brayden, that's not it. I promise you that.
Hey, those grew on you though. You like to more and more.
Yeah. No, of course I do. I would say that the practice that I miss the most is Wednesday mornings, because you guys know that I love the 100 stroke.
Especially
I missed that one too. And we had already had some good plans for how we're going to kind of change things up a little bit this year. Keep the same 100 speed, but kind of some of the stuff we do with it, changing it up. But now we just have to wait a little longer.
All right, one more for me. You've been here 2 years, right? So halfway through, when you, like, just off the top of your head, what is the most memorable race you've been part of?
Wow, that was a tough one.
Mm.
The most memorable race I've been a part of.
Or that gives you the best feeling when you think about it.
I think I would say the medley relay we did at NCAA's, the 50 medley relay, because it was such a close race and it was so fun to race.
Yeah, I was thinking you're either going to say that race, or I thought there would be a chance that you would say the 200 breaststroke from NCAA's last year.
That one was,
because like when you came
I shocked
in,
myself.
Yeah, like you shocked yourself, and I think when you came in, you were so 100 focused. The 200 was like a buildup of learning and experiencing it, and I think when you were able to get third in that race, I think you almost, like, I don't know, proved yourself a lot to yourself, you know? Like I told Paulina, like, that was a big moment for us, kind of taking you from these areas of swimming and broadening it without losing focus on there. And I'm just going to throw this out. You said, put me in some 200 frees next year. I'm just telling you, you said it.
You free?
Yeah, you said it before.
No, I never said that.
Yes, you did.
No. You must have had a dream or something.
Well, in my dream, it might have been the 500 free, but I think the 200.
I think you mean the 200 free relay.
Yeah, you're probably right. Well, thank you for joining us. Pretty cool to see. The bracket has been fun. Alumni are reaching out to me. Friends are reaching out to me. The coaches are. I had a high school coach reach out to me yesterday saying, "Thanks for doing the brackets. I didn't know as much about your program and some of the things that you all have done on both sides without seeing some of this, because I don't go back and do all that." And so it's kind of cool that we're doing it, because it's getting people excited about the sport again and teaching them about cool moments in our history. And some of the alumni have really been active. So good luck to you. Your 200 breaststroke is now in the Final Four. And we miss you over here. We know you're doing well in Sweden. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I miss you guys too.
Bye, Sophie.
Bye.